How are mornings in your house? Have you got a nice chilled morning routine, or are things a little chaotic? Well, today I'm sharing my updated morning routine. This is how, as a mum of 4, I managed to hold it together just about in the mornings, managed to fit in some work, some productivity, some self-care before my family get up, and keep things moving reasonably smoothly each morning. The alarm goes off at 5 a.m. It goes off on my watch so that it doesn't wake my husband or the rest of my family. I go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's time to get up, even if I don't want to, because the second you press snooze, it's the second that it all starts to go a bit wrong. So I get up, I get all my bits and pieces in a basket so that I can prepare things the night before so I'm not clattering around, and I take that with me to the bathroom where I can finally flick on some lights and start waking myself up. So you may notice that in my ears I will have an AirPod, and that's just a little headphone, and I can listen to on my phone some music, something to wake me up, maybe an audiobook, maybe an uplifting podcast, anything that's going to kind of put me in the right frame of mind for the morning. So I start by giving my hair a little brush and tying it up out the way. I did wash my hair last night. I almost never ever wash my hair in the morning, certainly if it's a school morning, so I just save time by doing it the night before, because having to dry my hair in the mornings just adds too much time. So I wash it the night before, and I'm just going to tie it up and deal with it later. I use these little coily hair things that are like a phone, like an old 90s phone telephone cord, and those hold my hair up quite nicely. So now I'm going to brush my teeth. I find this really helps to wake me up. It's the minty freshness, I guess. It stops you feeling like yuck and groggy and asleep. So you've got a nice fresh mouth, and it does help to wake you up. And the whole time I'm listening to something that is waking me up and cheering me up and just getting me in the right mood. So let me know in the comments, what do you like to listen to in the mornings to wake you up and get you in the right mood? So I'm going to now get my fringe out of my face so that I can wash my face and not get any, water in my fringe. I'm just using a cheeky wipe, which is basically a very small flannel. I will link the cheeky wipes below. They're like little hand cloths that you use for babies. None of mine need them as babies anymore, but I just wash my face with that, and then I just throw it in the bath because I can deal with that later with all the wet towels and things. So now I'm going to put some moisturizer on. Now this doesn't have any SPF in it, but don't come for me, we will do that later. This is 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm just going to moisturize my face now because I've washed my face to wake myself up, and my skin is so dry, I'm kind of like a lizard, that if I don't moisturize it will all peel off my face. So all of this just helps to moisturize my skin, and more than anything wake me up and make me feel a little bit better. So now I'm on my phone. I'm not on social media because that's putting me on someone else's agenda. I'm just literally turning on an automation, and I have talked about this in my smart home video, but I've got an automation that turns on certain lights and things for me to wake up and go downstairs and have certain lights on that go off after a certain amount of time. So I've got things like the stair lights on so I can go down the stairs without falling over in the dark. So I'm heading downstairs. Everyone else is still asleep so that I can actually get some stuff done before everyone gets up. I'm heading into my kitchen where I'm going to have a little bit of a Blue Peter moment. So this is the drink that here's one I made earlier. So last night I filled up my drink. This only takes a couple of minutes, but it shaves a few minutes off my mornings. This is my Organised Burst drink. These are multivitamin energy drinks. I have one every single morning without fail, even if we go away, and sometimes some later in the day too. I am, full disclosure, an affiliate for Organised because I genuinely use these products and love them. I use them every day. So if you want to grab some of those to try, I will leave all the information for those down in the description. But long story short, I prepare that the night before. It shaves a few minutes off my mornings and frees up a bit of calm in my mornings. I pop that into my cold cup, which can stay with me throughout the day, whether I'm going out in the car or at my desk. And then that drink stays nice and cold for what I need to be doing this morning. So now we're going to do a little bit of exercise, a very small amount of exercise, but it's better than nothing. So I'm going to roll out my yoga mat and choose the exercise. Now I tend to go for either Pilates or yoga in the mornings. It depending on my mood, depending what I feel like. I'm using Apple Fitness Plus on my TV, and that connects with my Apple Watch, and then I can see my metrics and things, and it just monitors which exercise I'm doing. I respond very well to being monitored. It sort of makes me want to do it. So I'm going to do yoga this morning. It's just what I felt I needed. Most of my cardio exercise I do is just walking the children back and forth to school. So I find yoga is very good for stretching out, because obviously a lot of the stuff I do work-wise is sitting at a desk, working at a computer. So stretching out can really make me feel a lot better. And then Pilates is good for pelvic floor and toning and things. So I'm not doing any Pilates today, but I do that lots of other mornings. So it's only 10 minutes, which may not seem like enough, but it's got to be better than nothing, hasn't it? It definitely makes me feel better, a little looser, a little less stiff. And then when I feel really stiff, it just feel not ill, but just not right in my body, if that makes sense. Let me know in the comments if you know what I mean. But I just feel a little bit healthier if I don't feel super, super stiff in my body. So 10 minutes of yoga is enough to help with that. So as we're coming to the end of our little 10 minutes, I must admit I find it very hard to quiet my mind for those 10 minutes. Let me know if anyone else is the same. I'm going to roll up my mats. If anyone's wondering what those are Pilates resistance bands, and I keep those rolled up in my mat, and I keep the mat just behind the sofa. So there's no barrier to exercise. There's no, oh, I've got to get ready. Everything is there exactly where I need it. Now on to a bit of journaling. Now, sometimes I do journaling before exercise, sometimes it's exercise before journaling. I do my journaling on my iPad and I write with an Apple Pencil. So what I've been tending to do is starting the morning with something called morning pages. Now, morning pages is 3 pages, or just whatever you want it to be, but 3 pages of like stream of consciousness writing. So this is just writing whatever comes to mind, getting all the gunk out of your brain. Sometimes this can be about what you were dreaming about or ideas you've had. Sometimes it's utter gibberish and nothing comes of it. And other times really, really good ideas come from it, especially if you're in a creative profession or if you've got a problem you need a solution to. Sometimes journaling on it and literally just writing whatever comes to your mind, getting it onto the page. Don't edit it. Don't think about it. Don't cross things out. Don't worry about grammar. Just blurt it all out. No one else is going to read it. I'm doing this on an iPad. You can do it with a bit of paper and a pen. You can do it with a fancy notebook. Whatever it is, just give it a go, and it helps to just clear your mind first thing in the morning. And like I said, sometimes I do this before exercising, but then sometimes my mind, which I find very difficult to switch off, you're supposed to be really zen in yoga, aren't you, and all in the moment. My brain's like, doesn't stop. So sometimes I come up with some ideas while I'm exercising, I can then jot down in the journaling. So let me know in the comments, have you ever tried this form of journaling? It's called morning pages. I've heard about it, talked about a lot on Amy Landino's channel, but it came from a book called The Artist's Way. So now I'm going to put my iPad back on my iPad keyboard thingy and pop that back in my little case. And we're going to head into my office to actually get a little bit of work done and make a head start on my day. Obviously, I work from home because I edit videos and write blog posts full time. And I get, a decent chunk of work time during the day now, most of the time. I'm just popping my Apple Watch on charge, by the way, because I've worn it all night. So I need to charge it a bit because I have to wear it all night to wake me up as the alarm. I put my glasses on because I find I do get a headache if I work without wearing glasses. Anyway, note the night before, we're going back in time again. I write a little to-do list the night before and I pop that just in my line of sight, so I know exactly what I've got to be doing. I want to be as productive as possible, so I don't want to be wondering, what should I be doing? And I can just look at it instantly and see what I should be doing. And those are my projects above my desk. They're all like the individual videos or blog posts or whatever. So most of the time I've got school hours I can work, but then if the children are off ill or there's a sports day and a race day, as our children have in our school, then there's lots of time that I will be off, or all the scummer when I've got the children home. So I need to maximise the time when they are in school and in the mornings before they get up to work as much as possible. I'm sticking a load of laundry on. Now it's 7:15. It is time to go upstairs, wake up my family, and actually start the getting ready to get everyone out the door kind of chunk of my day. So let's open up the windows and literally open the windows. Obviously this doesn't work if it's bitterly cold, it's the middle of winter, but to be honest, even in winter, opening the window for a minute or two really freshens things up, and even if you have to close it quite quickly, but just to get some fresh air in. So now, once I've kicked everyone out of bed, I can make the beds. I get the children ideally to make their own beds, or at least I help them make the beds. I'm making our bed. It just makes you feel like you've accomplished something. So then the children clean their teeth and have some sunscreen before they get dressed. So this is a sunscreen of choice that we're using at the moment. It's an 8-hour sunscreen. It is summer at the time of filming. And I find that this, because it's like an all-day sunscreen, or 8 hours at least, then I don't worry about the children burning while they're in school. So I put that on. If I put it on and let them dry for a minute or two before they get dressed, then they're good to go for the day. I put my clothes out, what I wanted to wear the night before. I hang them on that hook, and then I don't have to stand there staring at my wardrobe, wasting time wondering what to wear. So I'm going to plug in my hair straighteners while I stick on some moisturiser. Now, I'm not actually going to use this moisturiser. This is a Factor 50. It's really not that sunny today. If it was sunny at all, I would use that. But these are the only two products I'm going to use makeup-wise. So I'm going to start with, what's it called? A BB cream, a CC cream. Basically, it's got a little bit of SPF in it, but people have told me off on my channel before saying, Ree, that's not enough. It's only Factor 20. But I'm barely going outside today and it's not that sunny. So I'm thinking that the Factor 20 SPF will be fine. Now this one is the lip and cheek tint I bought in a recent Boots Shop With Me in haul. It's just a nudie kind of colour. It's called Dusk Pink. And I'm literally going to bung a bit of that on my cheeks and on my lips. And that's pretty much my makeup routine at the moment. That's it. 2 products. I do then comb my eyelashes because I've currently got individual eyelash extensions and they stay on for weeks and weeks and weeks. All I've got to do is comb them. But other than that, it's just 2 products plus the proper SPF stuff if I was going to be out in the sun or if it was, actually sunny. Now, the longest job to do on some mornings is straightening my hair. I say some mornings. That's because some mornings, like this morning, the morning after I've washed my hair, I don't wash my hair every night. It doesn't need doing every night. And in fact, the more I wash it, the more I have to wash it. It gets greasy quicker. But I tend to go to bed with it almost slightly damp because I'm a bit lazy to blow dry it properly. So what I tend to do is I'm looking if that's a grey hair. Not sure. Is it? Not sure. Anyway, back on track. I tend to just let it dry naturally and then the morning after I straighten it. So I straighten it a little bit every morning. Ooh, an alarm is going off to say it's time to go down for breakfast. That's to give us a jolt to say, hey, guys, the time. So we're running slightly behind time because we're not quite ready to go down, but I do allow a little buffer of time. Anyway, I straighten my hair every morning, but some mornings it doesn't need much doing because it's still pretty straight. So now I'm going to do the girls' hair. I'm currently, if they're doing plaits, I just brush their hair through with a tangle teaser and then tie off the plait with like a clear plait tying thing, a hair tie. That's the word for it, isn't it? A hair tie. So they just have plaits. It keeps their hair off their faces, and in my mind, I don't know if it actually works or not, but in my mind, they're less likely to get nits. I do nit comb them every week to check for anything. We've been nit free for quite some time now, but you get the dreaded texts every now and again, don't you, saying there are nits in the class. But I just figure if the hair is tied up, it's marginally less likely to get nits. So that's the girls' hair done into plaits, looking super cute. Then they go into the drawer in my bedroom where they keep all of their school-specific hair things, hair bands. There are a lot of like navy elastics and things for if they're having something other than plaits. And then while they're choosing a hairband, I just tidy away my makeup and things. My makeup drawer does need a bit of a declutter and organise. Turn off my dressing table lights, which also kills the power to my hair straighteners in case I forget to turn those off. Then the children take their school bags out of their boxes. They've got one of these boxes each and they get their things ready to go. In theory, this all goes very smoothly. Some mornings it does, some mornings it doesn't, but that's why we build in a little bit of buffer time. The girls have got to take fruit as a snack. William takes one of these Serene bars and they each take a bottle of water and those have to get put into their bags. And the theory is they do all of this before they play. In theory, like some mornings it goes better than others, but we have the system there and hopefully it works out. So they have some orange squash with their breakfast and then some cereal, and then flashing back in time to last night, I chopped up some strawberries just to save another job in the morning. Sometimes this gets done in the mornings, but anything you can do the night before just shaves those few minutes or few mornings. It makes it less stressful. So all I've got to do now is take them out of the fridge and chuck them in a bowl and then give them to my family to eat with their cereal. So much quicker. So yeah, what can you do to shave time off your mornings? Back to these wipes. These were the ones I was washing my face with. We also use those at the table to wipe hands and faces after meals. So I'm now going to have an Xanti bar. These are protein bars. They've got multivitamins in them as well. I eat these for breakfast because I find they keep me fuller for longer. And I'm going to finish off my burst drink. So that's everyone having their cereal. And then we pop the things in the dishwasher. I get the children to clear the table with me. And then it's time to sort the laundry that I put on earlier. So that can be going while I'm doing the school run, because my office is the other side of the laundry. So it's a bit noisy to have the washing machine on while I'm working. So I try and arrange it so that I am having the washing machine going when I'm not trying to work, because it's possible, but it annoys me to just be working in all the noise. So I'm now putting another load on, using all the bits that I bought in whatever recent B&M haul where I bought washing things. All the things that don't go in the dryer get hung up in this airing cupboard area. There is a radiator underneath that bottom rail, and that sort of warms the clothes. Now, the children have got to grab their shoes. This should have been done earlier, and it wasn't. I've got to say, this shoe stuff needs organising, because those are winter boots. And this drawer is overflowing because we've got sandals, we've got winter boots. It needs a bit of a declutter and the winter boots need to go away. But that's just another story. So now it's 8 a.m. It is time to walk the children to school. It is lovely to be able to walk them to school. If you've sort of followed along our journey, we used to have to drive to school and now we're close enough to walk. And it is really nice. I feel it's good for my mental health to walk to school, to just force us out in the fresh air. It's good exercise. I get a fair bit of cardio in, just kind of marching back and forth to school and walking quite quickly. I walk a lot quicker when I'm not with the children. I kind of dawdle with them, and then I do like a much quicker walk home. So now I am home. The house is all quiet, so I'm home and gonna get a bit of work done. So I'm going to take off my coat and my shoes, pop away my sunglasses. I try and remember to put my sunglasses back in their pouch so they don't get all scratched. I always wear sunglasses if it is other than raining, basically. Let me know if anyone else does that. So I've popped away my shoes, hung up my coat, and now I'm going to bung my bag down in my office and sort out the laundry that has been washing while I've been out of the house, and therefore the noise has not been offending me. So I sort it into tumble dryable and non-tumble dryable, and the tumble dryable stuff is going to be added to the other tumble dryable stuff because there wasn't enough of it to go in for a load, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to put a towel, like a damp absorbent load on, so I don't put fabric softener in with that. And I'm going to set it on a timer to start going as I leave for school later. So it won't start making a noise until after I finish working. And then I did empty the dryer and put the dryer fluff in the dryer fluff bin. And now I've got to take a few bits out of the airing cupboard that are dry to make some space for the damp stuff. I put the damp stuff, like the newest stuff that's gone in there, furthest to the left, and then I know the stuff closest to the right is driest, and that needs to come out first. And then as long as I don't overstuff this cupboard, everything dries quite nicely. So before I start working now, I'm just going to put away some of this stuff that's been drying, my husband's. Some belongs to the girls, some belongs to me, and this is all the stuff that doesn't go in the dryer. So that's the girls' stuff. I hang it up 2 by 2 in Bella's room, and then some other stuff goes in Zara's room, but as they dress in matching stuff for now, while they don't mind it and they like it, then that's what I do. So now it's time for me to get on with some work, and that's what I do every school morning to try and let things go as smoothly as possible. I hope you have enjoyed spending the morning with us, and you can pick up some bits to implement in your school morning routine? Which of these things do you do already, and which of them might you start implementing into your own routines? Let me know. Are you a morning person? Are your mornings nice and smooth? Or could they do with, let's call it, a bit of smoothing? So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell and all those YouTubey things. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.